Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we are back in Daxamat's refuge. Well, we just got imprisoned with Jajax, but hopefully Daxamat can take care of preventing something. I mean... Oh, yeah, okay. We'll leave our belongings here. You hear Itûr's footsteps behind you as he enters the storage room. I don't like the look of this either. The door closes. We are...
There is someone here for you, Dax. A Temámir dwarf I have never seen before.
If he is not a friend of yours, I will send him away. If it is true that an enemy fleet approaches the city, we should not draw attention to this place. I think it's too late for that. But let me see who this is. Birûk. Okay, you have never met this Temámir before. Why does he ask for you?
You are Daxamat, the brother of Jajax. I have been looking for you.
I have tidings of him you should hear. I spoke to many people hoping to find you, but at last a rumor monger directed me to this place. Now hear what I have seen. I was in Dâr Laja when your brother and my friend Beriathan petitioned the kindred of the coins to close shut the river gate and prevent the approaching fleet from passing the city. Almost did I leave, but curiosity stayed my feet, and I watched from afar as they were seized by the guards. They were brought to the gaol, and are now captives of Harlond. Even Caltic has sided with her. I can't think of no just reason for him to do this. I fear the kindred of the coins has betrayed the city. Even now I hesitate to return to the streets. They may keep watch for any who witness their duplicity. Beriathan proved a friend to many of us in the city. How can they justify imprisoning him after such monumental deeds on behalf of Umbari and Temámir alike? Itûr clears his throat, surprising you. He has a knack for moving unseen.
You need a way to pass unseen from this refuge without being seen by spies loyal to the kindred.
I would not call this day fortunate, but perhaps in this matter alone I have some good fortune to share. Pass through the door behind me and take the stairs down the cellar. You will see what I mean. Cellar, I think I saw the stairs. Oh, where does this lead? A small boat pops in the water beside the platform.
I see what your friend has in mind. I know a waterway to Umbar-môkh when I see one.
With this, I can enter and leave the refuge without detection by spies loyal to Harlond. Birûk shakes his fist in the air. I still cannot believe Caltic would endanger the city in this way. I have never known Beriathan to lie, and he was most clear that a hostile fleet sails down the river toward us. I may be able to contact someone who can get a message to the prisoners. I will return and let you know if I succeed. You hear the sound of a door closing in the distance and voices drift from above. More new arrivals, a man and a woman you have not met before.
Rumours spread like wildfire throughout the lower ward.
Is it true that Beriathan has been imprisoned by the kindred of the coins? I can think of no reason for him to languish in the gaol, especially if he sought to warn us about this approaching danger. Why would the kindred support this attack? My husband owes a great deal to Tumult of Years Water, who convinced him not to join Balahor during the war, but that was a different kindred, and people say Tumult is slain. People also say you and your brother are Beriathan's close companions, Daxamat. Tell us what we must do to help, and we will do it.
Word spreads through the city that the hostile fleet approaches on the Itûr River.
And that Beriathan has been in prison for trying to stop it. Can this be true? My wife, Kasha, and I named Beriathan a friend. Any who seek to harm him must answer to us. My deadliest days are behind me, but I have mates enough throughout the Shield Isles and the Cape to make things difficult for the kindred of the coins if they truly have betrayed the city, as the whispering suggests. If the word of the advanced scouts can be trusted, it seems likely. They say you can hear orcish voices from at least one of the approaching ships.
The people turn to you for guidance, Dax.
You stammer to Itûr that you don't know what to do. He rests an assuring hand on your shoulder. Ask yourself what Beriathan and Jajax would do if they were here. What would they do if they were here? They would fight. They would fight!
Yes, that is exactly
Today we begin to fight against those who would betray us, for Beriathan and for Jajax.
None would mistake me for one of the corsairs of legend.
My prowess is not in combat or swordplay. I spent many weeks in the gaol when the nobleman I thought to rob of his purse proved more vigilant than I expected, so I would not recommend you assign me tasks of thievery. Itûr laughed suddenly. There is one thing I can help you steal, Dax. Together we will steal the hearts of the people right from under the noses of the kindred. Folk have already come here searching for someone to lead them, and more are sure to come. We are going to need a place where we can make our plans. Maybe we should set up the room on the right so we can accommodate our growing numbers. Take it.
This is a start, but there is more to be done.
The Kindred of the Coins has two places where their leadership can feel safe, within the meeting hall of Dâr Laja and within the strong walls of the Citadel of the Winds. As our numbers grow, we will need to find some way of threatening these bastions, making the Kindred question its safety and the sources of its power. There is something else too.
Harlond and Gortek have imprisoned two of our most significant figures, Dax.
The city will not forgive this outrage, and as word of it spreads, the dominion of the Kindred must begin to weaken. Did they underestimate how beloved Beriathan has become to the people of Umbar-môkh? Did they underestimate the popularity of your brother Jajax? I think these were mistakes, Dax, but now we must ask ourselves an important question. For how long will the Kindred keep Jajax and Beriathan in captivity? Are they still alive? And if they are, for how long will they remain so?
I hope they are all right.
You might as well settle down. We're not going anywhere, Beriathan. How exactly can I pass time in a cage such as this? I mean...
Did you hear that? Someone is coming.
The gaol. I don't hear anyone. Hello? Harlond.
I trust you two are comfortable.
Why have you come here, Harlond?
Such hostility. Fear the din of celebration in the city above might keep you from sleeping. The people rejoiced as the song of waves and wind passed the city and sailed on to Gondor.
You tell Jajax that Harlond is lying. Aye, he agrees. She lied before and she lies again.
For what reason would I lie to you now? Victory is already mine. Gondor will burn. Umbar will triumph.
You have forgotten something, Harlond. You may learn it again, to your sorrow.
What have I forgotten?
Umbar is a free city.
I know it well. I have made it so. The Kindred of the Coins overthrew the heirs of Temámir and the Church of Barkhûsh.
The people did this. How will they react when Nakási returns with her fleet? How will they welcome its crews of Erswans, Orcs, and Orthakai?
They will do as they are told.
Maybe, but I would not.
That's the exact opposite of Fredo. It will not be as you say. The people of the city will know why I could not close the river gate. If the Song of Waves and Wind could not leave the river Ikurban, Nakási would have turned the Narghâk cannons upon Umbar-môkh. Should we have sacrificed our own city for the sake of Gondor? You ask Harlond if she truly believes that Nakási or Galahad would have destroyed their own city, and she waves a dismissive hand. You believe the people of the city shared your uncertainty, Beriathan?
When next I return, you may believe differently. Farewell.
Really gotta get them back.
You might as well get some sleep. We may be here a while.
God's sake, Jajax. How can you say that? Mysterious girl. A girl watches you from outside a cage. Hey. Do I know you? Oh, I think I do. I think I know who you are. I have a message for you from one of the Temámir. He says, the war continues, we need many hands to mine the Avashal and we'll forge new medallions from it. Remain alert for its shine and stay safe. The mine is treacherous, but there will be a light in the darkness. The girl turns to go, but she hesitates. She faces you again and you try to remember where you have before heard his voice. We watched as the ships passed the city. One galley tried to block the way to open water and it was sunk. The terrible smoke of the cannon smelled foul. We saw orcs on the deck of one of the ships. They cheered as the ship of Umbar burned. The water could not quench the blue flames. Even through the bars, you can see the pain in her eyes.
I did not always live in the shadows of Umbar-môkh.
I knew it.
I had a home in the city once. Family who loved me. But they did not survive the flames of Barkhûsh. I have been Tephísa ever since that day.
I knew it. You remember her, right? You never saw her face before now, but it was in Umbar-môkh that you spoke to Tephísa. She is one of the Terâsi, the forgotten children who make their way through hidden paths beneath the city. It must have been the Temámir Birûk who gave her this message to bring to you and Jajax. Tephísa studies your face closely. I watched the flames destroy my home once, stranger. They were orange and red then. The embers lit by servants of Barkhûsh, but a fire is a fire. Those ships will set ablaze the homes of Gondor, but they will return, and when they return, the conflagration will spread to the homes of Umbar. I can help you escape, but I have a price.
Nothing comes for free.
Name your price.
If I help you to escape, I need something from you. A promise. Will you swear to destroy the ships and their masters?
Have my word. Ashenâth? Stares at you through the bars. I mean, how are we supposed... I mean, is this a wrong answer? Boy, I don't know. How am I supposed to know that? Okay, you will forgive me, but I really... It seems there is not a lot of difference, but...
How can you know that name?
I don't remember, but... Jajax lives on, oblivious to everything.
Messages arrive from all throughout the city, Daxamat.
The song of waves and wind passing so near to the city has caused our numbers to grow. The people cannot disbelieve the evidence of their own eyes, that the kindred allowed these ships to sink an Umbari galley. They have allied with orcs, and by doing so are no better than those vile creatures. The fleet has sailed into the bay and left us behind, but the kindred will still come to rue its passage.
I've been running hither and yon all morning.
Messages are coming from every ward of the city. I have been running hither and yon all morning. Let me rest, I beg you, only for a moment. Once I have caught my breath, I will return to the work. You tell Nakur he should rest, for he will be of little use to Imagol in the rising tide of rebellion if he falls down from exhaustion. He smiles gratefully. I only need a moment, Daxamat, really. But if you climb the stairs and check to see if Seked has left any more messages under his door, my rest should cost us very little. There were none when last I checked, but that was a few minutes ago. Top the stairs, you say? Oh. You collect the messages slipped under the door by an ally to Ilmagol's cause.
Already there are more messages from elsewhere in the city.
Events are moving quickly, Daxamat. You should spread out those papers on the planning table. More folk wait for their orders. Planning table, sure. God, I'm still learning my way around this place. And it's such a small space, but...
Rumina and I can move unnoticed through the lower ward with great speed.
Until the moment we want to be seen and to be heard. I am confident we can spread the news of Harmelach's betrayal of the city and that Koltek may be aiding here. It will not be difficult. Few of the Umbari failed to see the enemy ships as they passed the city, and it was apparent to all that the Corsair crews has joined hands with soldiers of Rothog and orcs of Mordor. It is an outrage and a mockery. I understand there is a plan in motion to free your brother and Beriathan from captivity. Has there yet been any word? Perhaps Birûk has returned from Umbar-môkh with tidings?
I bring good news from Umbar-môkh, Jaxamat.
My contact has spoken with Beriathan. He and Jajax are being held within the fleet-fast gaol, and the Terâsi girl is willing to show us a secret way inside. She seemed very insistent that if she performs these tasks for us, we will see that the enemy fleet is destroyed. I don't know if that is within our power, but I told her we would consider it. We need Beriathan and Jajax freed. We can consider nothing until that happens, am I right? You hear voices from above, voices raised in anger. Alright. Rothog and Belondor. Two leaders of the kindred stand ready to fight. You heave a sigh of relief as they lower their weapons.
For now I relent. If you give me a reason to fight, I will not again lower my compasses.
Until the battle is done. Belondor and I were away from the city, visiting the arid hills of Narghâk and looking for evidence of the Sarduth. We found none, but when we returned to Umbar-môkh, the shouting of its people could be mistaken by no one. Someone had allowed a fleet of Mordor and Narghâk to pass by the city, and as it sailed into the bay, it turned its cannons upon Umbari ships. Even now, the wreck of an Umbari galley smolders with the blue flames of the hungry fire. Some members of my kindred seem to have allied with this fleet, but only one arranged for me and Belondor to be away from the city when it arrived. This was the work of Harmelach. She knew this fleet was on its way, and she wanted to ensure Rothog did not stop it.
You are Daxamat, yes? The brother of Jajax. These men follow your command?
Belondor looks you up and down and releases his hand from the hilt of his sword. I should have known something was amiss, Daxamat. Harmelach's sudden interest in the Sarduth should have raised my suspicion, for always has she dismissed the servants of Morgoth we faced in Urashtar as less of a threat to Umbar than others. To ask Rothog and I to travel to Narghâk to learn if they have any presence there. It seems an obvious ruse now. A means of keeping two members of the kindred from interfering with her plans. When we departed, I thought only that at last she was taking seriously the danger. But now we have returned, and we must decide what can be done. Where is Beriathan? We should ask him for his thoughts.
Imprisoned? We will need to do something about that.
Oh, we're gonna get the guys of Daxamat! Permanently! Oh boy! Something else troubles me. Some of the people with whom I spoke claim that Nakási commands the fleet, and she has joined hands with Galahad, the son of Valahor. Their ships are crewed with earthen horses, orcs of Mordor, and Narghâk soldiers alike. If this is true, fully half of the kindred of the coins have changed their loyalties. Nakási, Harmelak, and Koltek can no longer be trusted to lead. What is Tatháta in all this? She has always been more solitary than the rest, but if she sides with the betrayers, it will be difficult for Rothog and I to convince the city that their position is just. That way is certain to lead to bloodshed. I do not fear it. I would prefer not to slay my fellows if it might be avoided, but we need to remove the blight from the kindred of the coins in order to cleanse it one way or another. But you are the leader of this band of fighters, Daxamat. Consider all that must be done and give your people their commands. The uprising in Umbar begins now. Oh boy. Oh my god, lots of walls. The assembled fighters of Umbar-môkh listen to your directives. I don't know what I'm not running with rings, but okay.
I know of a place where many weapons are stored, Dax.
Beneath the Dâr Laja in Camravesur are racks and racks of weapons for use in the arena. But that is not all we can take from there. The gladiators revere Rothog as both a great warrior and a leader of the city. If they are showing his sight with us to overthrow the villains who betray Umbar-môkh, we will have obtained not just weapons, but fighters to wield them as well. We must not underestimate the reputation of Rothog the Storm. The prospect of facing him in single combat was enough to keep me safely and content in the gaol. I knew not that Kinsman Belondor would free me from captivity without fighting only days later, but I did not know to face Rothog on the blood sands for my freedom. I did know not, okay, to face Rothog, yeah, safe advice. But today, I will fight for freedom from the traitors who pretend to speak for Umbar, but I fight beside the storm and not against him.
There is no need to draw stones, as is the custom among my people in Garbarkat.
I know what duty is set before me. First, I will go to Mecca Kufar with this unpleasant news. Koltek has jeopardized the lives, safety, and wealth of the Temámir people. I will bring those of my fellows who agree with this position to the Shoreward Stone, where we will seek an audience with Inik Jewelbrow, the Whole Father. One way or another, Koltek will be removed from power for his part in this calamity. While I do this, someone else must make use of the secret entrance into the Fleetfast Gaol in order to free your brother and Beriathan. Is that you, Shesha?
Romina and I have many contacts within the Sailhaven and the Lower Ward.
We will spread the news of Harmelak's betrayal and rally the Umbari to march upon Dâr Laja. Porters and mariners, vendors and caravan drivers, even the troublemakers and brigands of the god. All these folk have reason to overthrow the rulers who think to sell us to Mordor or to Ordach. Again. Even the courser Itûr may join us in this. He has retired from the privateering trade, but he will see the rightness of Umbar-môkh's cause.
You have given these folk their orders, Daxamat. What now is your role to play?
You tell Belondor that you are ready to free your brother Jajax and the hero Beriathan from the Fleetfast Gaol, but before you can say anything else, he shakes his head. I think not, Daxamat. That is a dangerous undertaking. I cannot say how it has happened, but you have somehow become the leader of the rising tide, the Umbar-môkh. Without you to focus these varied and desperate fighters, I think this uprising is snuffed out like a torch doused in seawater. You must remain here at this refuge in order to coordinate the efforts of Umbar-môkh. The rescue of Beriathan and your brother must be left to others.
Rothog and I will lead this rescue mission.
Beriathan and Jajax are imprisoned by those we counted allies, even friends. The two of us must set this right. I will speak with the Temámir about the secret entrance he has discovered. Were it not now obvious, I would rue its very existence. But it seems such a way into the gaol will now help us bring our friends to freedom, and about that I will not complain. Regret not that you do not accompany us. There will be danger enough for you here, Daxamat. All of the city will soon come alive with anger, and you must be ready to guide its furious voice.
Go then, and good fortune go with you. Good fortune go with us all.
I wonder if Gondor has already been defeated, Beriathan. It is difficult to tell the passage of time from down here, but if the weapons of the Sunk are as dangerous as you say, It will not take long for Nakási to complete her mission.
Get them! What is happening out there?
You may want to stand back. Rothog?
It is good to see you again, Beriathan. But we have not the time to catch up. Rothog and I will stay on guard the rear while you and Jajax make your escape. The way out is downstairs. Daxamat leads the rebellion against Harlond and Cultic. With every passing moment, more and more of the people join Ilmagoli, the rising tide. I am sorry this has happened, my friend. I thought the sickness in the kindred ended with Azagat, but it was not so. Harlond and Cultic have betrayed the city and I must make it all right. Jajax spotters with bluster surprise. Did he say Daxamat leads the uprising against the kindred? My brother Daxamat! There has not been some misunderstanding. My brother is one who follows, not one who leads. I am the one who leads. I know I said we should put our faith in Dax, Beriathan, but I did not expect something like this. We had better go. I have to see it before I will believe it.
One of these guards might have the keys. You should free us some friends on our way out!
Oh, slim guard. So they have already taken care of that. This guard does not have the keys to the gaol. You found a ring containing keys to the cages in the Fleet Pass gaol. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Cannot leave me here. Right. Middle of, well, just received a very important message. Handling that as I save all these prisoners. Freedom is mine. How can I ever repay you? Why are you doing this? I cannot believe it. You all need to flee. We are free? Can it be so? I thought I would die in there. Is this a trick? Trick at all. Tatháta and Jajax stand by the hatch leading to Umbar-môkh. The kindred of the coins is dead, Beriathan. It was created to protect the people of the city, not to burn them alive as did the Church of Barkhûsh. If the Umbari do not slay Harlond and Cultic for their betrayal, I will do it myself. Yeah, get on the line. Below the city, I witnessed Belondor and Rothog traveling with great speed and pursued them. Had they supported Harlond's treachery, they would be dead already, but it seems these two have not abandoned their wits. We are to bring you by the paths beneath the city to the hideout where the uprising began. Are you ready? You hesitate. Images of thatched Gondorian cottages wreathed by blue flame flash before your eyes, followed by homes in the Umbari style suffering the same fate. You remember a small boys asking you to destroy the ships and their masters. Tatháta eyes you carefully.
Why have you not already left, Tatháta?
It would appear our prisoners have second thoughts.
Some thoughts. Have a mission. What is the cause for this delay, Beriathan? The city above it's a tinderbox ready to catch fire at the slightest spark, and Ilmagoli cannot now be stopped. You tell Belondor that you fear for the people of Gondor, unaware of the deadly danger that sails towards them, and for the people of Umbar. He nods. It had occurred to me that Nakási will not give up this fleet when her business in Gondor is completed, he replies. She will return with it to Umbar-môkh, and any passing wind will be enforced by cannon and with hungry fire. My ship Sotoka is moored in a hidden harbor not far from here, Beriathan, and none can match her speed when her sails are full. You ask Tatháta if she would be willing to pursue the Song of Waves and Wind to Gondor despite the danger, and she stares at you seriously. On my last voyage with Nakási, we sailed around the coast of Outer Gondor. Our purpose was to prove to the new king of Gondor that despite the defeat of Umbar in the war, the kindred of the coins was not without strength. Umbar would not be subservient. Umbar must be treated as a powerful neighbor worthy of respect. But then Tumulto was slain, and the light in Nakási's eyes changed. Hatred drove her. We encountered the grove of a tree tender on the Cape of Amphalas. Later I learned from Nestin Anisorne that his name, at least in the tongue used by Elton men, was Leafshade. Nakási threatened to burn his grove as a message to Gondor, and I told her I wanted no part of it. But had Nestin Anisorne not surrendered to her, I know she would have burned that grove with fire and torches, and all of Gondor beside. Now she possesses the ability to do just that, Beriathan. If my ship Sotoka can stop her, I cannot remain idly by and claim to have not aided her. For Leafshade, if not for any others, my ship is yours. Agents of Koltek and the Earsworn stand between you and the hidden harbor. I hope you are ready. As ready as can be. I certainly did not expect this. After traveling for a short distance, you hear the sound of falls ahead of you. I really did not expect to be sailing on Tatháta's ship. The hidden harbor is just ahead. We must go through these foes if we are to reach Tatháta's ship.
Attack!
There they come.
It is good to get my blood flowing again! Tatháta's ship is near!
Okay, another transition. Tatháta's ship Sotoka is moored in the hidden harbor. Am I ready for this? Should I board this ship? You better. I will follow Tatháta anywhere, even to war. Belondor, I wonder what Sirgon would say if he were here to see this. I wonder that too. I truly have thought about Sirgon a lot. This is not your first visit to my ship Sotoka, but today you are welcome. My copious thirst. If they must drink the blood of a friend, so be it. This is more like it. I have always been more at home aboard a ship, even if that ship carries me to a dangerous battle in defense of Gondor of all places. At least the legend of Jajax will continue to grow. We will leave the uprising against Harmelak and Koltek in Daxamat's capable hands. Ha! Capable? There is a first time for everything, I suppose. I hope we're not making a grave mistake, Beriathan. Me neither. I am sad, Beriathan. You ask Rothog why he is sad, and he grumbles something you cannot hear. When you ask him to repeat it, he leaves a heavy sigh. I did not think to bring Hurshak with me when we came to rescue you from the gaol, and Tatháta says there is no time for me to go get him. Now he must stay behind in the city instead of joining the battle in Gondor. He will miss all of the fighting. Perhaps one of the members of Ilmagol will bring him to Dâr Laja to slay Harmelak or Koltek. He will like that. Oh, I hope they do. Sirgon has been upon my mind these last few hours, Beriathan. What would he say to know that now I sail to his home of Gondor in a desperate bid to defend it from destruction? I know the answer. He would smile and clap me upon the back and say he would do the same for my own home. What do Gondor and Umbar have in common? Sons and daughters who would die for them, against any threatening danger. Sotoka is a fast ship, but the song departed many hours before us. We may be too late to prevent Nakási from completing her mission. She is driven by vengeance, Beriathan, not just for the death of Tumuldo, but for every injury and injustice she has suffered during her years of life. Each of these wounds has fed her hatred, and now she has been blinded by her desire for vengeance. Tatháta smiles grimly, a most rare sight indeed. That is the meaning of Sotoka, Beriathan, vengeance. Is it chance or plan that speeds us in pursuit of Nakási aboard a ship of vengeance? I cannot say. The world is a curious place. And so the ship Sotoka made for Gondor in pursuit of the song and a desperate hope. But some of those who sailed that way would never return. Oh. The stakes are raised. Should. Well, I have a slight notion of where we are, but still don't know.
Gondor cannot be without defenders.
Where are its knights? Where are its fighters? The King of Gondor will not permit an incursion so near to the White City to remain unmet, unless he had no choice. We must press forward to the northwest in search of any who might stand against Nakási. Warming with orcs, but I mean, I think I recognize this place of the Harlond, but boy, it's been years since we've been in Harlond. Who is this? A soldier of Gondor beckons you to him.
Is that you?
We are hard-pressed here and have lost many men in an attempt to learn what villain bedevils us. I thought the Corsairs tasted bitter defeat during the war and their fleet destroyed. You tell the soldier that the Song of Waves and Wind had been kept secret from most of Umbar, but a number of their captains schemed to use it against Gondor. We sailed forth from Minas Tirith when we first received word of enemy ships sailing toward the Harlond. King Elessar led the charge, but we could not get near enough for fear of the terrible blue flames fired from their weapons. Is it true they have brought new quantities of the Umbari fire? The king was pushed away from the river, find his men to the northwest, past the graveyard. Rothog commander. Can get this guy here as well. Too far to get within range of my dots. That was not necessary. Warden calls out in greeting as you approach the upward slope. It feels so good to be back home even though we are under attack.
My eyes deceive me? No. You have returned to stand with us.
Against the Corsairs of Umbar, Beriathan. I only hope you have not arrived too late. When we traveled with King Elessar to outer Gondor that he might hear the concerns of his people and help with them revealed from the war, I did not think we would so soon be thrust once again into such horrors as have come to the Harlond this day. It was my duty and Lornian's to safeguard the king, but how can we protect him against the fleet that wields such terrible weapons and is crewed by every enemy that ever bowed to destroy Gondor? Corsairs, Haradrim and Orcs all united in hatred against us. King Elessar has established a camp on the overlook atop the sloping path, Beriathan. Go to him and learn what can be done against these invaders, if there be anything. There must be something. Well, we are here. We will do everything we can. Right, the map is not showing me where I am. Ah, this is the red circle. What? Oh! King Elessar stands atop the overlook preparing for the counterattack. Oh my god. I just remembered. Right at the beginning of the Song of Waves and Wind, we learned there was a traitor within the king's court, and we still don't know who this is. We're about to find out who, but boy, we are in great danger. King Elessar turns to face you, his expression brightening as he recognizes your return from distant lands. You return to Gondor in its time of need, my friend. I deem that is no coincidence. Tell me everything you know of this fleet and the villains who captain it. Elessar sighs when you finish your account, and you can tell the events of the day have taken their toll. The death of Nakási's husband, Tumuldo at the hands of the Earthsworn, was an injustice, but it cannot warrant such an attack as this. Had she remained in Umbar, nursing her hatred of Gondor, that would be a sorrow, and I would share her grief. But for her to seize command of this fleet and these weapons and bring them to bear against my people, that cannot be forgiven. 5 ships have come to the Harlond wielding the hungry fire I thought was gone. Nakási captains the largest of these. 2 others are crewed by Haradrim soldiers and 1 has orcs aboard. I could not see who commands the crew of the last ship, but from your account I deem it must be Balakad, son of Valakor the Scourge. The heirs of Castamir remain to trouble us, it seems. It has been a losing struggle to this point, Beriathan, but perhaps your arrival will help to turn the tide. Speak to my attendants here in the Overlook and we will begin to fight back against these invaders. The ship sailed into the Harlond with no warning, Beriathan. Their crews of orcs and Haradrim set the port ablaze in the span of a single hour. They came ashore and we met them with sword and spear, but we were unprepared for such ferocity in time of peace. Our counterattack will come, and it must come soon. Face any of those who now pillage the Harlond, and you will help us regain the advantage. It has only been a matter of weeks since I traveled with you in Amphalas, Beriathan, but so much has happened. Is it true that the son of Balakor the Scourge captains one of the ships against us? Are the heirs of Castamir behind this attack? You tell our father that Balak had supplied corsair crews for some of Nakási's fleet, but most of those ships were damaged before they could sail to Gondor. You ask him what you can do to help fight against the 5 ships that made the journey. There was much chaos as we retreated to this overlook, Beriathan, and we were pursued by our enemies. As the king's groom, it is my job to see to the horses, and I did as best I could, but 2 of them slipped from my tending and fled toward the main street that ran through the center of the Harlond. They were crazed by the flames, you see. Who amongst us was not? If you find Taglada and Gaeranor, send them back to me if they still live. Oh boy, the Elben names flow through the tongue so much easily. Oh, thank God.
King Elessar rose bravely from the White City and led a sortie against the invaders.
But we were pushed back to this hill. During the retreat, some of our soldiers dropped their weapons on the slope. Retrieve these weapons as you descend from the overlook and leave them in the weapons barrel that has been placed by the graveyard. They will be used again. Okay, so Gondorian Blade. Retrieve Gondorian Swords. But we need 4 of those. now? Leave the weapons you collected in the barrel by the graveyard. Ah, this graveyard, I believe. Right? Yeah. Yeah. The weapons you collected can now be used again in defense of Gondor. Find the horses, defeat the orcs. Boy, there is no map. Can't get used to it. Someday, maybe, someday. I think we pass through the flames in here. No, bad idea. We need to find a way into the Harlond. Away from the flames, hopefully. Oh, I'm guessing we also need to defeat some of the Ordakai invaders. Okay, into the Harlond we go. Here is one of the horses. You also need to defeat Ordakai invaders, yeah. Agladal, there you go. Agladal has been sent to safety. Oh, it was not that long ago where we came here with Legolas and Gimli and we could finally see the Harlond. Not fully restored, but the job had begun. Well, the job to restore all Gondor, not just the Harlond, and now to see it again like this, what a shame. Can you please die as well? Maybe we can avoid that troll. Here we have Gaeranor. Oh, Gaeranor, what an amazing... Should have gotten that name for my mariner. That's something that I just realized a few days ago. Gaeranor has been sent to safety. Okay, gotta return to the graveyard. My mariner, I don't think I have shown him on camera yet. My mariner is named Gaertir, which is a combination of Gaer for the sea and Tyr for vigilance. So the idea is he keeps vigil over the sea. I wasn't that sold on the name, but I wanted to use the Gaer route, and that's the best I could come up with. And a few days ago, I was just playing with one of my champions again, and he is going through Gondor. And we came to one of the locations in eastern Gondor that was Aerthir. And for the sea you can use both Gaer or Aer. So the difference is just one letter and it's justified. I mean, you can use either one as far as I'm concerned. So I was relieved to see that the name I had come up with, it's really not that different from the names you can find in game. So I'm really happy about that. But Gaeranor, boy, that is a kick-ass name. A father urgently calls you to him. Just... Oh, Belondor! Belondor and Elessar! Yeah! Yeah! What's gonna happen now?
Did you see the son of Balakor? I heard shouting above the tumult.
And voices cry that the heirs of Castamere have designs upon the White City. Could it be true? You assure a father that the heirs will not have victory despite their initial success, and that the counterattack will begin at Elessar's command. Of course, heed not my jumbled thoughts. I'm watching you. Just so you know, I'm watching you. The king's expression is already greatly changed from when you first encountered him today. His weariness has been replaced with determination. This is the hour in which we fight back against the invaders, he says. Belondor tells me that Nakási has broken with his kindred and is an enemy too of Umbar. I believe him. He counts himself no longer a man of Gondor, but today we will fight side by side to prevent Nakási and her allies from endangering our lands and our homes, though they be not shared. Okay, we're about to get a new quest, but I think there is still plenty of things for us to do and not enough time today either. So I don't consider this to be a cliffhanger as big as last one, but we still have unfinished business here and not enough time to do it all. So that means we'll end the episode in here. And we'll continue next time, hopefully stopping the song for good. For the time being though, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.